Okay, after creating a new table, we are back. I'm not sure how often kingsSkort plays on this platform, but I know they play a lot on the Templegate client. I think they've been on the leaderboard over there a few times. So, villages look rather lacking. You can get Field's Gift off of Pixie 1 in 12 times. And aside from that, the only village is Prince. This looks like a reasonably strong big money kingdom, though, so Prince might just not be in time. Probably won't be, I think. Treasure Trove is good for big money, and Goat gets you thin pretty fast. Wayfarer is not bad in a big money deck. Treasure Trove also helps you get Wayfarer in the order that you'd want to. You gain the gold first, then the copper, and Wayfarer costs 0. That would be more helpful if there were plus buy. The only plus buy is capital, which may or may not be worth it. Huh. I mean, there's groundskeeper, which is potentially a good reason to try to build a bigger engine. How plausible is it to get a prince up in play and then play a bunch of groundskeepers? I feel like the money deck just looks really fast here. Just get thin super quick and then start buying out all the provinces. We got the 5-2, which would be great if the goat were in the turn 2 hand. I'm not sure if it's better than the 4-3 here. What do I want turn 1? Could be remodel. Wouldn't mind like remodel an estate into a fiatum, remodel a fiatum into a gold or a treasure trove or a wayfarer or something and go from there. You'd be pretty much set to start buying provinces if you had a treasure trove and 3 silvers in your deck already. So turn 1 remodel could be the play. That lets me trash a copper, which is a pretty big benefit. Other options could be treasure trove or mine. I think mine is probably worse than remodel. It's doing a similar thing. It doesn't come with a copper trash. Treasure trove, definitely good card for big money. Like turn 1 treasure trove into a wayfarer and then just start greening with a wayfarer and a treasure trove sounds pretty fast. I think I like the remodel play. I just really like trashing a copper. Not Fields Gift. Wind's Gift might be good here. I don't know what their hand looks like. But you get to cycle to your remodel and your goat and then see them again. Yeah, probably worth taking, I think. This turn, I'm probably just buying another pixie. And then next turn, I remodel an estate into a fiatum and buy another pixie. They bought a wayfarer. Okay. That looks like a pretty good boon here, probably. You discard a copper, gain a pixie, discard another one, gain a wayfarer. Not bad to have too many wayfarers in the deck, because you can always remodel wayfarer into province. That is good for 2 pixies. Fair enough. I think it does feel like they're having the better draws over there, no question. Get a fiatum and a pixie. I think that's mostly just they had a really nice turn 3. But I could hit some good pixie boons here, maybe catch up. I expect they're also probably planning on playing big money here. If they buy a groundskeeper here, that'll be a clear tell to the contrary. I would expect maybe a treasure trove of capital. A bit ambiguous. Uh, Forest Gift probably is worth it. Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, I can just rebuy Pixie. And I think the plus buy maybe lets me do something interesting with Wayfarer. Okay. Flames Gift, less clear. I gotta think about that one. So, option A, don't lose a Pixie on Flames Gift, and then just remodel Fiatum into Treasure Trove and buy Pixie Wayfarer. Option B, Flames Gift, crash the Fiatum, buy Copper Double Wayfarer. I think that sounds better. I don't mind thinning here. And yeah, I said Treasure Trove. Did I mean it? Capital wouldn't be terrible either. I think Treasure Trove sounds better. And now I think I just want to take province. whenever possible from here on out. 11. So they're building the engine. We'll see if that's better. I could definitely believe that it might be. I'll take that. And I think a second remodel sounds good. It appears my goal in this game is going to be to empty provinces as quickly as I can. Remodel is quite good at that. This turn, I will trash a Wayfarer into a province and then buy a second treasure trove, maybe? Cartographer could be interesting. That's probably wrong. Yeah, province, buy a treasure trove. Okay. Is probably I could just buy a province, or I could do gold into province and buy a 5 cost, which would basically be upgrading a gold into a 5. Think I value the gold more than any of the 5s? Maybe that's not true. Maybe I'd rather a capital. Capital sounds pretty good. Alright, my goal for this turn is to not draw the remodel off the top of my deck. I have 1 silver down there, I believe, and maybe another gold, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure what my odds are of hitting 8 here. I think if I find the silver, probably hitting 8. There's a province, a remodel, a silver, probably some number of coppers. Not really sure what else. Second treasure trove? Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, did not accomplish the mission of don't draw remodel, but I still hit 8. This hand brings sadness. Never want to see 7 money when you're playing big money. All that I really care about is shortening the clock on provinces as much as possible, and 7 is not doing that. Given how thick my deck is, I think this might just be a duchy. Unfortunately, still have not drawn a remodel. Hopefully don't draw any dead here. If I don't hit 8 here, that could be bad. Really don't want to go 2 turns without picking any provinces. Get them. Interesting. I mean, it comes with points and can be remodeled up into something else. The silvers might be a negative for the deck that they're trying to build over there. Okay, that's a good draw, isn't it? Yeah, I got to 8. Don't trash anything. Buy a province. Right, this hand obviously could be better, but if I turn a province into a province, that's still not so bad. I'm just trying to count down the province timer as quickly as I can before this groundskeeper thing gets online. Not sure if I'll be in time. They've got 4 groundskeepers already. I think they might be in the lead here. They've got about 4 more turns, which is a lot of turns at this stage. I mean, they can easily score like 10 points a turn. I think probably I'm in some trouble here. 2 more groundskeepers makes a lot of sense. They're wanting a state. Probably not. I don't think the 1 point matters enough. I'm just gonna take a silver. Okay. Well, given this precise hand, the capital maybe should have been a gold, because I would have hit 8 without taking debt. The upside of capital was like a hand with capital and a remodel. Maybe there's a chance that you hit double province, or you remodel something into province and then still buy a province. Yeah, I think they might be in range of just winning next turn. Yeah, I think I am beyond lost here. Uh, Definitely possible the groundskeeper plan was just better from the get-go. Mm-mm-mm. This feels way slower than I would have expected, though. Hmm. Yeah, that'll be a win. Alrighty. 2-1. They were definitely ahead out of the opening. That one's probably mostly on me. I don't know. That is slower than I would have expected. Uh, for what looked like a pretty fast game for big money, but they got the Prince online way faster than I anticipated for the engine. And I think once you got that set up, the groundskeeper thing does look pretty good. Alrighty, next kingdom. Unfortunately, it looks like a knight's game. That's no fun. We got cavalry for draw, eventually city, sinister plot. For villages, city, taskmaster, hamlet. For trashing, ratcatcher, and maelstrom. For plus buy, hamlet, very late in the game, city. Okay. How to open. I think taskmasters look decent here. Could certainly get into a virtuous cycle of just hitting 5 a bunch. There's a lot of good 5s to click here. But there's no plus buy at the $5 range. So you need to get plus buy in your deck before doing that. Is opening Sir Martin ridiculous? Probably so. Try too early for that. I'm thinking it's like Ratcatcher Sinister Plot. Seems right. It started thinning. Yeah, they agree. Maybe Sir Martin now? Basically, the problem I'm running into is I think I want to start buying Taskmasters. And then when I look at the Taskmasters in my deck, I want to be buying a $5 card every single turn. Keep the Taskmasters in play. But if I don't have any plus buy in my deck before I do that, then I'm going to end up in a point where I have to neglect to buy a 5 cost card for a turn to pick up one of the plus buy cards, and then all the Taskmasters leave play again, and that's quite awkward. So it seems like I probably ought to add plus buy earlier than I otherwise would. This turn might still be a bit early, even for that. But Sir Martin does look like a good source of plus buy here. Hamlet's not doing a whole lot early. I think I'm just going to take Sir Martin. There are 2 cost cards and such, so it's not like early plus buy is useless or anything. Unfortunately, my Ratcatcher has bottom decked. Is that worth burning the Sinister Plot token just to draw it? Probably not. It would miss the shuffle anyway. I'll go ahead and take a Taskmaster. Play. Yeah, they're probably ahead here. They got the turn 3 Ratcatcher, which is pretty good. And my poor Martin missed. That wasn't unlikely at this stage of the game. But yeah, with reserves and durations and such, seeing them on turn 3 is generally a lot better because you get the effect immediately turn 4, you shuffle them back in. Turn 4 versus turn 5 is not much of a big difference because they're not getting back into your shuffle until turn 7 anyway. And yeah, another Taskmaster here, I think. This turn is probably a good turn to do the Sinister Plot, I think. And get started clicking 5 cost cards. Let me think about that. Draw a bunch of cards here. I'll be hitting more than 5. If I don't take the plot now, I'm probably just buying one more Taskmaster and doing it next turn, which maybe is better. I think I can hold off one more turn. It would be rather awkward if our knights trash each other. Alright, let's draw now. And this has got to be cavalry, because I'm guaranteed to draw at least one more money. Never mind. That was bad. That was really bad. That's not good at all. I guess I should have counted for that. I mean, what were the odds? Those other 2 cards are both money. So I had to draw exactly these two cards, and I've trashed. So this is going terribly. What have I done? Oh no. I guess I buy Hamlets now. That was a total disaster. Okay. Uh, Call a rat catcher. Maybe I don't. I'd really like to trash that last estate. And so I think I'm going to hold off on that until I see the estate and buy one more Taskmaster. They've got two Taskmasters in play, but they can't keep them in play forever, or they'll just never have plus buy. That was annoying. That was annoying too. At some point, they got to take a turn off and buy a Hamlet. Oh! No, I have to take Dame Natalie would actually solve all of their problems. So I need to take that. They could buy a 5 and then gain a Hamlet off of Dame Natalie. See, the trick to countering knights is just make sure your deck doesn't have any good cards in it, and there's nothing they can trash. Alright, this is 5 money. I don't think I benefit from discarding anything. Just gain one more Taskmaster and buy Destry. I probably should have taken more rat catchers at some point. Maybe the double Hamlet turn should have been Hamlet and another rat catcher. Sir Michael could also potentially solve that problem. That was a terrible order. Why did I do that? I should have played Cavalry first, very clearly. I'll buy Cavalry now. Goodbye, Natalie. You are definitely a better knight than Molly. And Josephine last. Looks no good. That probably benefits them more than me. Destry is better in a deck where you've got plenty of actions, but Bailey's not a bad knight either. Anyways, with Michael on the deck, my plan can be take a big turn of Sinister Plot, hit them with the discard attack, and then buy Maelstrom, in which case they don't get a benefit from the trashing effect because they won't have a 5-card hand. Do I have Michael coming up? This might be the turn to do that, actually. Let's draw a bunch. Thought it was coming up. Maybe it's just down there on the bottom. Okay, well, I got 8. Yeah, City looks pretty good here. And another Taskmaster. There's Michael. He was just hiding. I don't think it would have been worth it to buy a Cavalry to get there, because I still have to buy a 5-cost card every turn. So if I hit Cavalry plus Maelstrom plus trash 3 cards, there's no chance I was also buying a 5 at the end of all that. I'm not sure where I stand. I've got the Taskmasters set up better. They still have this lack plus buy problem that they haven't resolved. Actually, I should definitely not take this last Taskmaster, because then they could buy Dame Josephine, and then with 2 piles empty, their cities are plus buy. Call Rat Catcher. Skirt for buy. And what am I buying now? Probably another Cavalry. I think I just want draw. I don't even need. It's kind of rare that you want to buy Cavalry primarily for the on play effect. I don't mind drawing 2 extra cards here, but I think I just want more draw cards in the deck. And Cavalry plus City would sound like a reasonable set of buys, even if I didn't need the +2 immediately. So yeah, let's go ahead and take that. And as it turns out, I do nothing good. But so be it. What did the knights split? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the trash. And I think I've only got Michael left. So they've got Vander plus, what's the other one missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop trashing all my horses, please. Dame Anna, there's the answer. Anna is a good knight here. Not necessary because there's other trashing. But a pretty good knight nonetheless. Alright, cities are now active. I think I just want another cavalry. Obviously, there's that risk of not hitting 5, but I think I said it before, and so now I'm paranoid about saying it because apparently I'm not good at predicting exactly. But I think I was 100% to hit 5 if I bought cavalry there. Anyways, city plus another hamlet, probably. It looks like their plan is well, actually, no. I was going to say their plan is probably to empty the knights and taskmaster to get plus 5 from their cities, but it doesn't really solve their problem. These knights are. I hate knights so much. It's not even good knights, and they're still bugging me. Um, are they going to try to empty the curses? Their problem is they don't have plus buy in their deck, so they're buying one thing a turn every turn, and they can't buy the taskmaster. I mean, they could buy the taskmaster, and the problem is just they get two taskmasters out of play, which just two of them is not the biggest deal in the world. Draw, draw, draw. I'm just going to buy another city here, probably. Wouldn't mind adding a bishop, maybe, to get ahead on points. I could see bishop being reasonably good here. Do I accomplish enough? I think I accomplished enough drawing 3 here immediately. It looks like a hand that benefits a lot from some additional draw. The downside, of course, of using Sinister Plot now is if you keep it building up, then you're threatening like a really big turn in the near future. And the game is close to ending. I think I benefit enough immediately from drawing here. Potentially play a bunch of cavalries, get a bunch of horses for the following turn. Yeah, this looks good. Michael is definitely the best knight remaining, so I don't really want it to clash with any of their knights. Have to take a bunch of horses, top deck all of those. This was a bad order, wasn't it? I should have played 2 of the hamlets first, and then just used the last hamlet to trigger the shuffle. Now I'm going to have 3 horses on top, which is fine, but I could have had 5 horses on top. I also could have not played that last hamlet, as I'm now realizing I don't really need this many buys. I have to play one too many copper. This could be a 5 plus a maelstrom, but I think I want to get bishop into my deck points right about now. Just another rat catcher, another hamlet. See another hamlet. They have no way to activate plus buy mid-turn, aside from just buying out all the cavalries and then playing cities. I mean, it could be that the thing their deck does is just play a bunch of knights every turn to bug me and then buy a thing. It looks like their eventual plan is just going to be to empty the curses and activate that way. Let me consider, maybe this is a possibility on an earlier turn that I should have looked at, but I might have the possibility of play a hamlet for plus buy taskmaster plus cavalry, then return to the action phase, and then I get plus buy out of my cities. I'm not sure I have enough cities to make that a huge deal. I don't like knights. All right, so their taskmasters are no longer in play. And I don't think I'm trying to win this turn. They have a big points lead. So probably not doing anything funky with taskmaster cavalry. I'm going to double check. I don't think I have enough money to do anything useful with that. I could activate my 3 cities, and then I would have like 3 extra money and 3 extra buys to work with. And then I still got to score a bunch of points. I would empty taskmasters, but I would need to buy a province on top of everything else. I don't think it's happening this turn. Then Michael first, make them discard. Then I'll play the bishop. Well, Michael, you can do better than that. How many buys do I realistically need here? Certainly not 4. Might be a bad order. I got a bunch of horses down there, so I think I'd rather trigger this shuffle if I could. Okay, so I need to buy a 5 cost. Not sure which one looks best here. Probably just another city. City's a pretty good card here, and I'm prone to lose them. Could be a city and a maelstrom. Maelstrom functionally costs 7 here, so that play or pay 4 plus trash 3 coppers from hand. Could be a city and a second bishop and a silver or something. I could add groundskeeper. Well, I'm not buying that many victory points here. Bandit doesn't hit anything. Them playing a bandit could actually trash my curses because my curses are non-copper treasures. They don't have any curses in their deck. Hmm. I'm pretty sold on buying a city here. Kind of like they do a second bishop. Gives me some redundancy in case they hit the 1. I'll buy a silver. Annoyingly, I don't have a rat catcher in play. Suppose I should have bought another one of those at some point. Okay, yeah, that wasn't much of a try. I think I'm still in the lead here. Probably I ought to buy a cavalry here. I don't think that's a big threat. Obviously, well, the threat with cavalry is if they have enough money, they can buy 3 cavalries and a taskmaster and end the game. Is it realistic that they hit 17? Maybe. Probably not. No, that's not 17. That's 15 money. 15. They have 2 charlatans, which is 6 money right there. They don't have any treasures. I'm not sure if their deck can do 15 total money. Probably better to just play it safe and not risk it. Discard for buys. Michael. Hit a city, which is good. Crash a curse. Cavalry. Is there any risk to lowering cities? They're still stuck in this position, if I'm not mistaken, of having. No, they did finally take plus buy, so there would be a risk in buying cities here. Um, they finally added a hamlet. So if I bought this city, they could potentially find their hamlet and buy Taskmaster plus city, which is a big threat. There's still a threat of them finding the hamlet, buying Taskmaster cavalry, returning to their action plays, playing some cities, and then piling out. But that sounds much harder to do, so I don't think I'm going to play around that. So I think just 2 groundskeepers here probably. I mean, it could be 2 duchies if I'm extra paranoid. That just puts us equal on points. That doesn't really help me. As long as I play 1 charlatan, I'd still be behind on points. So I'm just going to click groundskeepers. kingsSkort says, Michael's a beast. Where's Dame Josephine when you need her? Yeah, Michael is easily one of the strongest knights. Am I threatening to win this turn? Maybe. 10 points is a lot. It's the most likely win. Taskmaster Cavalry, return to action phase, buy 2 cities, play some bishops. I think I'm going to call plot here and see what I draw. This is a pretty good starting hand. I think I'm going to call a Ratcatcher and trash the curse. I'm not sure if that's necessary. Okay, I found a hamlet, which could be an indication that I go for the win here. And yeah, that would look like buy Taskmaster, buy Cavalry, play all my cities for plus buy out 2 more cities. I can bishop some stuff for points. I'd probably have to also buy a duchy or an estate, but I got ground. I think this is worth doing. We're going to see how it pans out. Taskmaster, Cavalry, City Time, make a bunch of money. And I'll draw those. Uh, Bishop some stuff for points. I'll trash Michael since kingsSkort wasn't enjoying him. and 2 estates. Wait a second, that's not enough points. Shoot. I did have an easy win here, didn't I? Which would have just involved buying 1 more copper. Should have counted this out more clearly. I don't know why I thought I could afford 2 estates. Oopsie daisy. Did I just throw this game? Possibly I did. Well, that's not good. I might still be a win here on cavalries. It costs 12 to pile up cavalries. Let me undo this real fast. I think I gotta do the cavalries first. I think this should still be a win. And buy 1 cavalry first. I'm gonna play a bunch of horses. I'm gonna buy 3 more coppers. And I'm gonna buy another cavalry. Okay. Well, thank goodness I almost threw that game for no good reason. All right. I think this probably would have worked without the undo as well, but it was less guaranteed because I would have had estates in my discard and would have had fewer horses in the discard. So there was a chance that I drew into estates and then had a dud. Ready. 3-1, I believe. We might need another table.